Can somebody give me an amen in this place? Anybody? Welcome back to Calling All Beings, everybody. Very special night on Calling All Beings. And well, first of all, I'm your host, DJ. What's this girl name right here?
I am back from Aruba. This is Boston Bia.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's a special night for us because we get to honor one of our colleagues and try to raise some money for him because he is yet another victim in this sort of masquerade of actual public governance that's going on there in that area surrounding Karen Reed in Massachusetts. So, let's try and raise some money for him. He is the host of the Young Jurks. He is Mike Crawford. He has been doing this for a long time, long before he knew who Karen Reed was. We're going to hear about it. And I'm very excited that, we're going to have the opportunity to try to raise some money for him because he's a colleague, you know what I mean? And we're all in this, ultimately we're all in this together, right? Do you have thoughts that you'd like before we're going to bring on a special guest here, another host, and then we're going to bring on the individual that we're going to be talking to, Gray Space. But did you have any thoughts you wanted to put out about Mike?
I mean, Mike's a good gentleman. We've met on several occasions, and I just think he has very good intentions. He also brought us Mark Betterow, who is an amazing attorney, and his commentary has been unbelievable. And now everybody's having him on, but we have to give credit to Mike. He found them, and we got to know Mark on another level, and just totally, he's been great for the movement and for his legal commentary. So
I agree wholeheartedly. Let's welcome on our special guest hosts that are also going to talk about Mike. And then the guest who we're going to interview, hopefully Mike will be here to interview this young lady as well. But let's, without further ado, we have two of the heavies, two of the legends are backstage right now. Two guys that I really admire and am very thankful for their friendship. So if we could give the only way we need to know how to do it on Calling All Beings, put your damn hands together for John Camo and McGinnis.
Hello? Is this on?
Mike is on.
Hey, Scott. How's it going?
Hi, John. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, why do you got to keep bringing up my weight?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, when
why?
I said heavies,
yeah.
I didn't mean physically.
Okay.
Metaphorically, right?
Okay.
Symbolically heavy.
I'm like, why is he always got to bring up my weight?
Literal, John.
I think you look good, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Let me bring on this young lady, and then we'll get you guys to talk about Mike, and then we will get into our interview with her, depending upon if Mike shows up in the next few minutes, or we'll figure that out. But this young lady right here has compiled some data, used some mathematics. I know stuff that like Trooper Paul doesn't know. She probably can define kinematics. And to refute the testimony of it, is it Dr. Welcher? Is that right? Dr. Welcher? And so we became yes, is that correct, Scott? Yeah.
Yeah, Welcher, the last expert from that company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. From Aperture. So we found her by virtue of our mod, the cat lady, who seems to be doing just about everything for Calling All Beings at the moment. So, party people, put those hands together for the home girl, Gray Space. Can I get her man for Pennsylvania's own? All right. Gray Space, how are you this evening, ma'am? Oh, we
I'm good.
We can hear you now. You're loud and clear. I promise. Before we get into that, I wanted to make sure I opened the floor for John, and then Scott, or do you think we should interview Gray Space and then we could save your commentary for Mike when he's here? I don't know how much time I have with you, John.
You got about 20 minutes. I need a couple minutes to get ready. I have a prior engagement that I pushed off for you and for Mike.
Oh,
yeah. So,
well, did you want to talk? Did you want to hear what Gray Space has to say, or you just want to
absolutely?
talk about
No. I'm here for whatever you guys want. Greg, go ahead, and I will stay on up until before I have to actually hit my live button.
Okay, and we'll get your commentary come what may.
Yeah.
Gray Space, if you would please tell us what you have discovered relative to Dr. Welcher's testimony and his findings, and what perhaps you have found that contradicts that.
Well, starting a few weeks before trial, had been looking at the tech stream data because it's all been out there since last trial when Trooper Paul testified about it. And I was looking at it more closely because Trooper Paul had only looked basically at one row of the data, or actually two rows. He looked at the vehicle speed and he looked at the steering angle. And there was a point in time where he was like, look here, the speed decreases a little bit, and also the steering angle goes from very slightly positive to very slightly negative. And he attributed that moment in time to a collision occurring. And I was pretty sure that that was kind of bullshit. So I was looking at it, I realized there is another row in that data set that is a direct measurement of the acceleration of the car, which is how much the speed is increasing at any given time. And I thought this was interesting because the speed is actually not like a direct measurement. The car knows how fast the wheels are spinning.
Mm-hmm.
And so based on how fast the wheels are spinning, it can guess basically how fast the car's going. But the acceleration is something you can directly measure. So when I did that, I found that dip in speed that Trooper Paul came up with didn't exist. It wasn't real. And so this is something that I had noticed prior to the trial starting. And then Judd Welcher got on the stand. It turns out he did the exact same thing that I did independently. He looked at that acceleration data. And so now my big issue with all of this is the reason that they chose this trigger and this key cycle as like, we're going to use this as the collision is because that's what Trooper Paul said based on his various incorrect assumptions about stuff. And so this guy just adopted that, but ignored all of his reasoning and just was like, yeah, it's still this backing up event that is the collision, but you can't actually tell anything that there's a collision from the data. And the fact that he can't say where in that data the collision occurs means that he can't say that a collision occurred anywhere in that data set. So that's kind of my rant, though I have other things about his testimony that make me mad now too.
May I ask you, and forgive me, this is going to be sort of a layperson question because John and Scott may both know the answer to this as well. Have you isolated which key cycle indicates them either driving to the waterfall or driving from the waterfall?
Well,
can we do that? Is that possible?
I don't think it's like fully possible necessarily, just because Trooper Paul said it was, or his testing was 1164, and I'm pretty sure that's not true. I'm pretty sure the issue is that he screwed up and that 1167 was actually his testing and 1162 is the correct key cycle for that trip. Mm-hmm. But that's mostly based on sort of the timing. The fact that that 3-point turn event does, it's like 8 or 11 minutes into the data rather, and then the backing up event is 8 minutes later. And
so that jibes with how long she said she was sitting outside the house. Is that
basically?
Okay.
And also People had said previously that it might be the tow truck pulling onto the tow truck event, but we know that that video of the car being pulled onto the tow truck is only a couple minutes long. And so there's no like 8 minutes in there. And also when I did looked at the acceleration data instead of just the wheels spinning data, it turns out that the wheels did spin a little bit, but not that much. Like the car did actually go in reverse at 24 miles per hour, as far as I can tell.
Okay, so the car did do that. Okay, so here's my thing. And I want to open this up to Bia and John and Scott. To back up at 24 miles an hour is almost like tactical level driving. So to me, I don't think in the history of Karen owning that car, if I had to bet $1,000, I would say she's never backed that car up at 24 miles an hour. So if that happened, and you can associate that with the key cycle, then that happened with Trooper Paul in an empty lot somewhere, executing that to be able to record that data. I don't believe Karen I've never backed up at 24 miles an hour. So
Yeah, now I agree. When Trooper Paul was doing all that testing that he was filming, how do we know what key cycle it was? It was probably Trooper Paul going 24 miles an hour in reverse, testing that Lexus, whatever he was doing.
And just to confirm, when we look at these events, there's no time and date and time associated with them, right? It's by cycle number or whatever, or event number. Okay.
So you cannot, what you're saying is you cannot marry up a key cycle with a time. Is that correct?
There's no definitive way to do it because, yeah, there's no timestamp on that data, though my understanding is that you can probably, now that they have the infotainment data that tells you exactly how many times the car is turned on and off, they can probably like count back and line up. If you line up like every single key cycle that the car's ever done, then you could definitively tell, possibly.
That's the thing. I mean, I just don't believe that Karen ever drove the car at that velocity in reverse. Is extremely dangerous to do. Like I said, there are tactical driving courses that like special operators get those courses. Obviously police get those types of courses. Nobody would back up at that speed. And I would challenge them to prove that Karen was the one that did it, because I would say that it was one of the troopers that did it in order to get that data on record. John, what do you got? You're very analytical about this stuff. So,
well, and I'm not going to be analytical with this answer, but my two takeaways from this whole reversing event. First one, the obvious. There's no way if you calculate her pulling up 35 feet and then backing up 78, whatever the number is, because I don't have my papers in front of me, that she wouldn't have made it all the way back to the mailbox. All right, I've gone onto Google Earth and they have a tool in which, oh, there he is. He's got to come on.
Yeah, I know. I just want to get. I want to have that ready. So
yeah,
we're going to talk about Mike and just. I'm sorry, just real quick. If you want to donate to Mike, please. It's pinned at the top of the chat. That's what we're here for. Please continue, John.
I donate to him all the time.
I know, but now he's legal. He's in legal jeopardy. Go ahead.
No, he knows I'm teasing him. There is a tool in which you can measure, or you could go down there and physically measure down at Fairview. She would have made it all the way back to the mailbox. The second thing is from the first trial, and some of the second trial, Jen states she's at the front door looking and texting at a certain time, and those times aren't even close. They're in the future. You know, when she sees her out straight ahead from the door. And then, remember, from the mailbox to the front, from the front to the flagpole, from the flagpole further. All of those times that she saw would have been after the time that they're saying it happened now. How did she, so if she sees her moving up after it actually happened, when did it happen? It didn't.
Agree. Agree. Is there anything else that you saw, Gray? That is Mike backstage? I hope no, that's Scott back. Okay, that's Scott. Okay, is there anything else that you saw that you found interesting? Is there a way that you can sort of, if let's say if you were a defense attorney in this case, what might you say to Dr. Welcher?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts for Dr. Welcher, but the one thing that I was thinking about today, which is what I had tweeted about like a couple hours ago, is that something that Dr. Welcher did not take into account when he was looking at the geometry of this street. And, he's like, oh, she's still moving at the end of the event, so we don't know when it happened. It takes a certain amount of time for a car to stop when it's going 24 miles per hour, hypothetically. So I was calculating the stopping distance, just like at a very rough approximation, because there's probably other factors when you're talking about something like a complicated system like this. But there's a basic equation for it. And when I did that, I found that the stopping distance, depending on how wet the street was, would be between 21 and 48 feet, probably closer to 48 because we know the street was wet. So that's another multiple feet that, her car would have to go. And that's assuming she slammed on the brakes immediately after that data recording ended.
Yeah, I saw you did that coefficient of friction math. She basically did a calculation if the coefficient of friction was a wet street. I think you put I don't know if that was a 0.09 and then it was a 0.04 if it was a dry surface, which kind of brings me back to my airplane days, but I won't go there. So figuring out landing distance, but yeah, I saw that, and I still think that they had to have put data in there, because the only way, based on what you said, then the only way that we would know key cycles is by taking the last key cycle that the car has now and then start working our way back. So we're working our way back from driving to her mom and dad's house, and then
you'd have to physically know exactly which one, because when you just said now, it's already been moved to the Milton back. We don't even know how many more times it's been moved.
No, we don't. But I'm saying is
they should have a log too.
Let's say at that time when they testified, you would have had to said, okay, the final key cycle is, I'm just going to throw a number out there and say 1175, just for numbers. And then you subtract, okay, they drove it in the Sally Port. Then they pulled it out of the Sally Port. Then there's, driving to up and down off the tow truck. And then it's going to her mom's house. And then it's, where did she go? Going to the Peggy O'Keefe's house. And so all these types of things. So how do we know in there when a trooper started the vehicle and then ran their own tests, which they would have, because to get 3/4 throttle on a car with an engine that size, I don't know how you get to 3/4 throttle there with normal driving at night. I mean, it just, it's just none of it makes sense. On a car like that, you're probably barely touching the throttle because there's nobody in the car except you and another person. It's a 6,600-pound car, and you really doesn't require a lot of throttle travel for a V8 to pick up in-town speeds that it's probably like 35 miles an hour around Ken. Correct me if I'm wrong, John.
No, I'm right along with you. Am I correct that the fund that you are collecting money for Mike Crawford is Give, Send, Go, the Young Jurks?
Okay, so yeah, here it is. Right, it's up. It's pinned at the top of the chat. Do you want to stick it in the chat right now, please, Bia?
Is it www.givesendgo.com, the Young Jurks?
I can do it. It is. That's correct. It's / Yep. Here it goes.
HTTPS.
Yeah. We're in a post
with the double slash and the semicolons and all that stuff.
There it goes. So please,
don't
donate anything to the show tonight. Donate to this.
Right. Donate all to Mike.
To Mike, exactly.
I'll tell you, I'm here because he was the first show I ever went on. He had my brother and myself on. talking about that when we were talking. You know, my brother didn't want to talk, and he still won't. Doesn't talk about that. But yeah, that was the very first show, and I was on a couple other times. So yeah, I adore Mike. You know, he's a good guy.
And I liked your appearance so much, that's why I invited you on this show. So I saw you on Mike's show. So.
Is he in the backstage yet?
He is. Oh my God!
Oh,
all right,
can you bring him on before I have to go?
Let's get ready. Here we go.
Because this is the only way he'll talk to me is live.
Yeah. First of all, before we get him on the special
He's
guest,
gonna be so mad at me.
The special guest of honor, we have a wonderful friend of the show, someone who is an absolute diamond, a gem for us, and she, of course, is the celebrated New York attorney. Party people, put those hands together for Nan Gallagher.
Who's that? Who's that lady?
The Scottish Nan Gallagher. She's not Irish for all of you out there.
I'm Scottish. Get it right.
For Christ's sakes. All right, now let's get on. Our brother right here. This is the man of the hour. This is the man, the reason why we having this damn thing. He's a colleague of mine. He is a great broadcaster, but more importantly and more germane to the discussion tonight is he has been involved in the justice movement long before our friend and our heroine, Karen Reed. So party people, put them together for the Young Jurks, Mike Crawford!
Thank you. Thank you.
Can somebody give me an amen from Mike?
Amen.
You in the WWE. I just want to tell you, I want to thank John for the jerk curtains back here, the jerk curtains you brought me. But don't call me tonight, John. Don't call me.
Mike, I only am here because of you. All right. They asked. I said yes. I bumped back the Kronks to 7:30 from 7 because when DJ called me and asked me, I said absolutely. If I knew you were going to have this many people on, I probably could have gone back to 8, but then I'd be half asleep. But yeah, no, I couldn't miss it. I just want to be on as long as I could to because like I said, this is the only way you'll talk to me is live. So
Not true.
I'm kidding. It's not. Mike,
We haven't talked in a while, though.
I hope everybody, please, if you have any amount, no matter how small, please donate. I'll keep my shirt on. Donate. You know?
Yeah. Here it comes, man. They're gonna start rolling in.
Thank you.
If you would hashtag CAB CAB, just so we can keep track. We greatly appreciate it. Please don't give any money to the show tonight. Give it to Mike. John, what kind of words before you have to go and hook up with Boozy and Eric? What would you say about Mr. Crawford and his advocacy?
Well, I just said it before. I mean, he's amazing. He was recording. He was YouTubing live all the select board meetings for all the people that didn't know. You know, you have a lot of people that don't know that they could go online and watch it online. YouTube's is a better platform than the way that they're transmitting the select board meetings, and so he made it way more comfortable, and for that I want to say thank you because I probably watched 90% of the select board meetings through his platform. So it's something that, you know, he's one of the only ones that was constantly doing it for the town, you know, and he didn't have to. He did it, you know. He had all the people on like Rita and everybody. He had everybody on. He gave a voice when there wasn't a chance. He was the person that everybody went to when they because the town wasn't listening, but Mike was. So yeah, thank you.
He speaks very eloquently about the town.
I saw Rita today and your friend Eric too.
I know. They told me.
It was fun today.
They told me.
It was great. So Eric's beautiful vehicle.
Yeah, I know. I wish. But with that, and hi Nan, how you doing, Nan? With that, I do have to go. Thank you guys so much for having me on. Please, people, donate. And when I get a second, yes, I'll send you something, Mike.
Thank you, John.
Thanks for coming on, John.
Thank you, John.
Bye, Scott. Bye, Gray Space.
Bye.
Bye, DJ and Boston B. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Bye, John.
Bye, guys.
Scott, do you have anything that you'd like to say about Mr. Crawford, or Or do you want to hang out and say it later, or you can say it now?
No, it's similar to what John said. I mean, Mike was covering the select board meetings, bringing awareness through his, YouTube channel to the world, really. Mike has people tuning in from all over the world to watch, like the Canton Select Board. Who would ever think, obviously the Karen Reed case and all the controversy and everything brought attention to Canton. And it's amazing the awareness that Mike Crawford has brought, through showing stuff like the Canton Select Board and all the other things that tie into the Karen Reed case. And Mike's an excellent interviewer, and he's a great asset to all these channels that have been covering this, and and it's an amazing how much Mike's channel has grown. A lot of other channels too, obviously, but Mike's coverage has been pivotal in this, so it's excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to actually make a banner right now for Mike so we could scroll it across the bottom of the screen. But let me turn it over to Miss Gallagher.
Well, I was listening. By the way, good evening to all of you, and also to you, Scott. I keep wanting to reconnect with you after a week or two ago, and I'm going to reach out to you personally. And I wanted to say good evening to all of your viewers, but I was listening to you before I hopped on, DJ, and there was a slight understatement from you, because not only did Mr. Crawford find Mark Betterow, but he found me. So I feel very honored and grateful. Not that I was really, not that I was looking to be found, but
we're happy we found you. Let's just say the community is so happy that we found you. So thank you, Mike, for that one.
It's so funny though, because I don't make any secret about it. I kind of was just writing the chats for 2 years or so, listening to all the information I could soak up on the Karen Reed case. And I had pivoted away from television and mainstream media over the course of those 2 years. And I really found an affinity for the Young Jurks. And I have to say, like, one of the things I like most about Mike is that he's got this soulful, and don't take this the wrong way, Mike, this kind of old-fashioned radio style that I really gravitate toward. It's something that I grew up with. My father used to go outside on Saturdays after working 60-hour work weeks, and he would wash the cars, and he would have the radio on, and I would listen to him listening to the radio, and I would hear that kind of smooth, buttery, velvety voice speaking into the microphone. And I'm like, I really like that. So it was one of the reasons I gravitated towards the Young Jurks. And then when I decided to kind of become a little bit more vocal, I'm a little outspoken, I guess. And one might say,
really?
Just a little.
I can't believe this. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And I just decided, I'd really love, and I'm hoping like Mike reaches out to me. I've made some I've made some donations, not to be put on shows, but I've made donations to content creators whom I really jive with, and I really want to keep their messaging going. And Mike reached out to me, and we were talking, and I'm like, I have a lot to say. I think you're going to want to hear it. And we had a great first conversation. And every time I am asked to be on his show, it flows naturally. And he's such an advocate for the Karen Reed case and other areas of injustice up in his neck of the woods that matter so much to me. I'm really, really, truly honored to call him not only a wonderful content creator on YouTube, but a good friend. So if anyone can find it in their hearts to dip into their pocket just a little bit for my friend Mike Crawford, I would very much appreciate it, because even though what he's facing is completely defensible, I can tell you all as an attorney that comes at no small price. So hopefully we'll find some generosity tonight, and I'm going to help however I can.
Well, let me just say We have a new member and a new mod tonight, Nan Gallagher. Thank you, Nan, for becoming one of our mods, and and you know, McGinnis. I got to give McGinnis a wrench if he'll take it. So I gotta see if he's down for that. So, Scott, you down? No.
Why not?
Why not?
Thank you.
Okay. So anyway, thank you, Nan, for becoming a member. And now we should probably let Mike say something because Mike's been
I want to
silent.
thank everybody. I just want to thank everybody. Thank you, John. You know, obviously, I would thank you, DJ, and your wonderful co-host. I just thank you both for doing this tonight, and thank you, Nan Gallagher, for always being a great guest on the show and a good friend. And I thank you all. Thank John Como, who was just here, Scott McGinnis, everyone. And you know, it just, for me, it's like I don't know. I've always been kind of trying to be cautious. I think we should all probably be cautious right now, honestly. But it's weird because this lawsuit is, you know, I don't want to say too much. I just want to say it's BS, but that's about it. That's all I can say, really. You know, and I just really appreciate everyone's support. They can look it up if you want to look it up. If you want to look at the details, you can look it up. It's in Suffolk County. It's a civil case. It's under Mike Crawford. Civil County Civil. You can look it up if you want to see all the details. But I appreciate everyone supporting me. I have one of the best attorneys around for this, so very confident. I've put down 10 grand, and so far, like, people just, I'm like blown away because people, like, it's like 9 grand now, over 9 grand.
Wow.
So I'm just
Awesome.
Thank you, because it makes a big deal, you know, big difference in the defense, and so I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful that you all, everybody, all the kind words. I'm just like blushing over here. I'm kind of silent because I didn't know what to say. It's just like, thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's an honor to be a colleague of yours. I also, Mike has heard this story before, but probably Nan hasn't, nor Grace Bass or Scott. Bia knows this, but when I became aware of the case through my M. William Phelps, I think he either did an interview with Turtle Boy or talked to Turtle Boy. So we're going back to sometime during the last trial, the early part of the last trial, I suppose. And then the first, when I started Googling it, trying to find out about Karen Reading shows, this was the one that I came upon. So Mike's was the one that I heard, and I really liked his style. And it took me a little bit to get him on and to, you know, get his attention. Obviously, a lot of people are trying to get his attention, but eventually he did come on the show.
Sorry to all the other shows that I don't get to go on. Like, I know a lot. I owe some people. I just never have time. I'm trying to. I never have time for my own show, which is funny. It's just so yeah.
No,
Today I spent the whole day doing Karen Reed stuff though, so it was great to have a fucking full day to just. It felt good to spend.
That's awesome, man.
On this. Yeah. So.
Yeah, whenever I'm here, I wish I was there because you want to take part in everything that's going on, and being geographically separated kind of sucks. But this is my conduit to be able to get to people, that and the telephone. You know, I get to talk to people like Scott and Bia and Dennis and John, and, you know, occasionally Peter when he answers. So yeah, you know, this is sort of my conduit, and your show was my on-ramp into this case and finding out about it and deciding I was so pissed off. I wanted to talk about this and support this lady in her plight. So thank you for that inspiration.
Thank you, DJ.
Sir. Grace Space is here. I don't know if you guys heard anything that she had to say regarding her refutation. Yes, you did?
Yeah, I heard a little bit of it.
Well, if you have any questions, you know, fire away. But basically, we're talking key cycles and how the sort of data that they presented, we don't know tells the story, because we would have to know how many key cycles they have now. Then we have to subtract because there aren't timestamps associated with those key cycles. So
the jury picks up on any of it. Like, because if you just watch that stuff as a layperson, like as a person that doesn't have tech knowledge, you know, let's say an average boomer that, or someone like me, I'm not a boomer, but I have problems like even working my own iPhone. So like, how am I going to know like all the stuff they're talking about? I just wonder.
You know, of course.
I feel like in the end though, like the average juror is just going to say like who seems more confident. Like if you look at
Yes,
which experts look more confident and which experts look the part, I think that's what the most jurors are going to go on this. Maybe I'm wrong.
I
Maybe
think
they'll
you're
pick
right.
one little detail out that we don't even think about, but I just think it's like a draw in the end on the tech stuff. Like it's because it's so like it's like he said, she said, he said, she said. It's just like back and forth, and I don't know. I wonder what you all think about that because I think the jury. I just look at the jury like they have to be like lowest common denominator. You know what I mean? You have to
Mhm.
dumb it down for them.
Yeah,
So
I'd love to speak on that, DJ and Bia,
Oh,
if I could.
yes, please.
Just based upon trial experience, I think, Mike, you're onto something because um, juries, especially when dealing with subject matter that's just way over their heads, they tend to gravitate more towards, okay, who did I like better? And they even look at the attorneys and their demeanor and their composure and the manner in which they ask questions. So if we were, as Mike were to kind of muse about, say, well, maybe it's a draw, which I think it very well could be because there were people who were even techier watching the testimony of Burgess, Welcher, and DeSogra, who kind of said, I don't understand everything, or they only understand the big picture. But if those people are confused, most likely the jury is confused. I've laid eyes on this particular jury. And I can tell you they were probably confused. That's my personal opinion. But for what it's worth, then if you were to look back and say, okay, let's look at who was a more likable witness. Well, does anyone think that a know-it-all like Welcher would be more likable, who clearly had one temperament when he was being questioned on direct and a more difficult restrained temperament when on cross, wouldn't give an inch, didn't make a concession, which goes towards credibility, by the way. Or Burgess, who absolutely lies on as to his qualifications, on his documentation, not only his own personal CV for his professional use, but how it's advertised through Aperture and LinkedIn, which is under his control and domain. Or someone like Matthew DeSogra, who did make concessions, who didn't hold himself as an expert in a certain field when he's not, who did rightfully perform a data analysis and did not have to do testing. He came across as more credible. And the attorney questioning also mattered here. So whether it was Alessi questioning or Jackson questioning, which they gave great direct and cross of the varying witnesses, or Brennan, who was like dealing with a petulant child. He
Yes.
absolutely treated Matthew DeSogra like he treated Marie Russell and Arca during the voir dires that we've seen outside of the absence of juries. And those are the things that even if they can't get the jury, if they can't get deep involved in the tech specifics and they decide this is over my head and they throw their proverbial hands up, they will look to those things. So you're onto something, Mike.
Yeah. And, I'm sorry. Did you, Mike? I don't want to cut you off. Did you have to say something, sir?
no, I think that I mean the most memorable thing about the prosecution witnesses is is that whole thing, the resume. Like the guy fixed his credentials. It took him how many years to get a VA? I guarantee you they wrote that down. You know
He
what I mean?
doesn't
If
have
they're writing
one.
new, yeah,
He still doesn't have one.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah. 17 years.
17 years
And they
didn't
said
get
he
a
wasn't
VA.
currently enrolled in the school, which you can't say
Exactly.
you're pursuing a degree if you're not currently enrolled.
And
So I
that
think
wasn't the
academic
same
fraud.
course either.
Yeah.
Right.
And
The
another,
major didn't exist. Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you, another important piece that Alessi was getting at with Burgess was that on one CV, he had said like currently pursuing or whatever the vernacular was he used. But yet on another version of that CV, he said it a different way. So there was a knowing intent to deceive. I know that as an attorney, lay people may not be so sophisticated to to pick up on the nuance of that language. But this is not, oops, I wasn't aware of how Aperture was holding me out, or oops, maybe I should have phrased it differently. I really wasn't thinking. No, this was intentional deception. And that's why I really loved, and I'm confident Alan Jackson saved it for his his rebuttal. Yeah, this was Burgess. So this was not Alan Jackson. This was Alessi. They saved it when they were crossing. They wanted to get at, tell us more about your education and how you were holding yourself out a certain way. And then it even came out on the redirect of what's his name, DeSogra, because at that point they said, you don't lie about your educational background. You don't lie about your credentials. You don't hold yourself out as an expert or having certain educational strata achieved, right? They did that on purpose because they wanted to kind of punctuate to this jury that DeSogra is credible and that Burgess is an absolute fraud. And if this is what the Commonwealth of Massachusetts chooses to hang its hat on as someone who's going to advance pretty high level tech data to this jury and say, this is what we're hanging our hat on, and we're going to change the narrative here, and we're going to move that goalpost, as Betterow says, okay, well, you guys didn't get your money's worth, and you certainly overpaid for Aperture.
And he really didn't need to lie about it. He could have just said that I don't have a bachelor's degree. What Hank tried to do is engage in a little bit of class warfare and say, oh, like Bill Gates doesn't have a degree. And, I can't remember the other luminaries that he named off. You don't have to have a bachelor's degree to be super duper intelligent and analytical and all those things. It doesn't require that you have a bachelor's degree. You just say, I don't have a bachelor's degree. Then you're honest. Then at least you're honest and you're not trying to portray yourself as having achieved a certain level of academia that you've not.
It's the lie.
It's the lie. And I always remind audiences there is a jury charge, which is false in one, false in all. So the jury is absolutely instructed that if they find one piece of a witness's testimony or anything about their qualifications false or deceptive, they're entitled to rule out all of it. And I'm sure that will be hammered home to them at the time of jury charging.
We have a question for Gray Space here. I'd like to get this up. It's germane to the discussion. We kind of launched this discussion off of the data for Gray. If she slammed on the brakes, wouldn't that have triggered another event that would have been recorded?
Well, I can't claim to be any kind of expert in how cars work. I know a lot of physics. I know a lot about data analysis. But I do know that there are triggers, like one of the types of triggers is slamming on the brakes. And so probably, but yeah.
We've got a couple more here. This is a friend. Can anybody can anyone shine light on why I keep seeing X posts about Proctor seeing a text between Karen and Yannetti where she admits it? That sounds like a troll thing. Can anyone speak to that?
Been around for a long time. That's not like new.
Okay.
And it's one of those things that they trolls always say, like, it wouldn't be allowed in testimony, but this is what happened, but they offer no proof. Like,
Yeah,
I don't buy it. I'm just, I definitely would not buy that. That's like
I don't buy it either. I think that's just
they're basically
troll.
what they're doing right now. If you noticed, and they're recycling old campaigns. Like,
yes.
we're all getting charged. We're all getting. I think it's good to be careful, but I also think that it's good not to be fearful. Like, don't be fair. These people are just insane. They're just going to throw everything at the wall right now. This is it, right? This is the last 2 weeks. This is it. This is throw everything at the wall. So that's what you're seeing.
Scott, you had something, sir?
No, I was going to say that's just the typical old school troll line. You know what I mean? Like Mike just said, they're getting desperate. It's getting up on crunch time. The state just ended their case. It's not looking good. I mean, we've seen troll attacks like amping up, because they got nothing left.
And to back up on why that started, it was because when Proctor was saying he was going through his his client's phone, he found communications between Karen and her attorney, which is why he claims he stopped looking at the phone. So
Yeah,
then from there,
do.
the fact that he said communications, that's when the rumors began, because they were trying to say that he saw private attorney-client messages. So now they're assuming that she was admitting to something, and then it just spun from there.
But wasn't it true that she hadn't even hired Yannetti yet?
Correct.
Nice.
So it
Nice.
doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I mean, they're not
Debunked.
very
You just
intelligent.
debunked it completely. That is so good. Like, you got. That's it. She hadn't even hired Yannetti. There you go.
Did you have something, Nan? Go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say that this shows the intelligence level of a lot of the antis. And I would agree that this seems to be a recycled attempt at, trying to just malign Karen, malign anyone who supports Karen Reed or justice in general. I'm seeing kind of a repeat of things that have previously happened. I'm also seeing, as I'm sure maybe some of you are, a newer trend of this kind of spoofing or imitating on YouTube chats in the
The
YouTube
fake
chat.
Nan account out there. Watch
Keeps
out.
happening. It keeps happening in the Young Jurks chat. We got
Yeah.
James Jackson last week or 2 weeks
Oh,
ago.
he got
couple
clobbered.
times. And now you.
Yeah, there was a
they're-
fake
they're
James
pretending
Jackson
to be
account today. A fake Lothario account today.
What was the other fake one?
There was a fake account of me again, which
You?
I
Yeah.
blocked in Turtle Boy, and I'm a moderator, which is weird.
Yeah, I think that as far as James
This is-
Jackson is concerned, even on his his channel, he got absolutely attacked by these, I call them spoofers, these imitators, saying horrible things from those of us who consider ourselves, quote, friends of the channel, horrible things. And I will tell you, it was very upsetting to me. And I don't know what was put in your chat today, Mike, but it was very upsetting to me when I saw it happening to James Jackson last week, to see my name, a chat put on the screen. He or his mods had every reason to put it on the screen or highlight it, whatever the terminology you creators use, and then to see horrible, horrible things written from me to him. I will tell you, any trolls who are hate watching right now, there's a special place in hell for you to do that. Also, I would also just encourage anyone who's hate watching right now to consider donating to Mike's defense fund. If you would like to donate, we would very much appreciate it.
one.
Sorry, Nan. We had to give you some applause for that one, buddy.
Yeah, because
So
Mike
they- so-
sees it. Yeah.
So they were posting as you in James Jackson's live
Yes.
stream, and then he
Yes.
thought it was you, and so he
He
posted on
did.
the screen.
And
Now, I think all the YouTubers warn of, like, that's a warning to us all. Like, we all have to be very careful right now on who we're reacting to and what we're posting, because people are impersonating people, on social media.
They are.
YouTube especially. It's
Can I
very
tell
I've
you-
even seen I've seen a fake Karen Reed go into JFK. That was a
Yep.
crazy show.
Yeah, can I tell you that we had another creator on here on a roundtable. I'm not going to name who that creator is, but there was that creator. We let them stream the way that Mike is streaming right now to his
free
channel.
stream.
This creator was also streaming, and one of the people came in on his stream posing as John Como, saying bad things about me.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
so we're talking 3 months ago. I know who it was that did it. I know
Oh,
who it was. But there are some very dirty people out there. There are people that are content creators that are very jealous, very competitive,
I wanna-
and
offline
so
about
I'll
that.
just leave it at that. But I know
I
who
want
it was.
to hear offline who that might have
Offline,
been.
you're yeah. I will.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you know who I'm talking about.
I
so-
think I might. But
Yeah. Yeah.
anyways, it's just so much craziness that goes
Yeah.
on, unfortunately.
Here's something really cool though. I
yeah.
just want to say right
You
here.
know, one thing I want to say
ahead,
on
sir,
this
please.
subject, this makes me thank my mods so much, because
Yes.
today when I was live streaming, I was on my phone, and when you're on StreamYard with your phone, sometimes you can't see the comments. I don't know why their interface changes, and I can't see the comments when they're coming in. I can't see them at all. So I couldn't like you. So it's weird. Sometimes you can and you can delete them, but lately, especially when I'm live streaming, like not restreaming, it's weird. I can't see them, so I couldn't delete them. But my mods were there, and I know they took care of it. And
I
I
blocked
love
the
my
fake
mods.
James
My mods,
Jackson.
the ladies in my mod. Yeah, Scott, you're one of them. Sorry, go ahead, Scott.
I blocked the fake James Jackson for you, Mike.
You did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody should consider adding Scott as a mod if the creators don't already have him as a mod. He's
Quick fingers.
exceptional. And then also I think Boston Brandy is one of your mods, guys, right? So
She is.
No, no, mine.
she and Cheryl with an S last
She's
week
awesome.
on James Jackson's Layova channel. The two of them were working overtime. There were multiple spoof accounts that popped up, and they were really hustling. So I would agree. Like, shout out to all the mods.
Every
Yes.
mod in all these channels because I love them. My mods, I gotta say, MJ, Stephanie, Sarah, Shock and Horror. I just love them. They're just like, and Scott too. You know, we get 4 awesome women and Scott, and so we only have 5, but it's just like without them, I'd be in trouble. So I just, and all the mods like that you just named on all the other shows too, and
Yeah.
DJ shows, and thank you for helping us all out.
But you know
Yeah.
what, guys? I have to say, doesn't that show you that all that the other side of this debate and travesty has is to just hurt people, insult people,
Yeah.
divide people within the same movement, to just be vicious like that? They never come with data. They never come with hard facts.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, they can't, like what's that saying from the law? When, when the law's on your side, argue the law. When the facts are on your side, you argue the facts. When you have neither, pound the table.
Yeah.
And so that's what they do. And Hank he's been doing a lot of table pounding. I'd like to thank Jen, the petty paralegal who we met at the first meal of food. Thank you, Jen. And I got to meet her and her husband at that event. 227 happened. Can I get a amen? We know that happened, McCabe. Don't even try to fool anybody.
You guys,
Thank you. Thank you.
You wait until the 227 gets discussed during the defense case. You just wait.
Oh, good. I see, because, girlfriend knows something about what's going down. You know what's about to happen. This one, and Annie Ruler. Hi, Annie. Says an attorney said a huge federal cases expert total was less than 200K Aperture's price. Feels like a promise, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't know. Is she saying basically that they overcharged the Commonwealth? Is that the thing?
We had a couple lawyers on Court TV recently.
Yeah.
They were all on a panel, and they were going on like, we always complain about how much these expert witnesses cost, but then we saw the 400,000 for Aperture, and we're just like, all of them were like, this is ridiculous. I've never seen anything like this. So yeah, it's way out of range. Usually it's like 50 grand, 25, 50, 100, maybe, right? Nan would know. She's like,
yeah.
How much is it?
This is exorbitant. It does range. I mean, usually I've paid experts, depending on the complexity of a case, both civil and criminal, anywhere from as low as $10,000 for certain services up to maybe $100,000. That's in my specific field where I need them. These Aperture experts, maybe they're more sophisticated, and then the costs associated with reconstruction and data extraction and all of that is higher. But this is in the stratosphere.
The paint was very expensive.
Yeah, the finger paint alone, like they went to their local craft store and had to get that. But I will say this, I was listening to Betterow, I think he was on Nurse Kim yesterday, and he said, he can't comment to the amount, but he said what's notable to him, and, it made me start thinking too, was the timing of the payment. Because no payments appear to have been made to Aperture until the very end. They had been retained earlier meaning in the fall, and then testing was done, the chip off, etc., the reconstruction, but payment was only recently made, and I don't even know if they've been paid in total. That smacks of a promise or some type of quid pro quo. Okay, so that would concern me more than the actual amount, but the amount it's exorbitant.
Somebody saying,
Yeah,
"Hey,
give
donate."
us what we want. Give us what we
But
want.
DA Morrissey
And you'll
could have
get
hired
400
the actual Blue Man Group for less money.
Yes.
Definitely.
I
We could
love
have got
Scott.
them for 50 G's. Easy.
They
50
would have put
Gs.
on a better reconstruction.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
it would have been way better.
they wouldn't have been throwing themselves into the vehicle and dressing in weird, cringy garb to like imitate John O'Keefe. Like, come on, that
But
was
wasn't that creepy?
It-
Like what?
it bugged, as I say, that bugged a lot. And there's no clinical scientific reason for that to actually be the case. You don't need to wear the same shoes and the same jeans and the same brand shirt. There was no hoodie. He apparently had a hoodie on. There was no hoodie. So that was done, in my opinion, and you can never prove it, and it's not grounds for appeal, but that was done to kind of pluck the heartstrings of the jury and to kind of make them think, oh, okay, this is John O'Keefe. Let me visualize what happened here. And that's ridiculous. It's also, in my opinion, ridiculous for Welcher to be serving as that, quote, dummy himself, because he's not impartial. He does not have objectivity. He has a quote dog in that fight. He's designed by the very nature of the retention as an expert through Aperture, of which he's an executive VP. He's designed and focused on the result and then working his way backwards. So why is he serving as the crash test dummy or the test dummy, so to speak?
Because he's roughly the same size. He was saying.
You know what? I could go to the local Stop and Shop and find another guy who's 6'1", weighs 216 pounds. I mean, I know a lot of guys. And in fact, a lot of you people in Massachusetts are really tall, like surprisingly tall, taller than you look on television. But he could have found somebody else easily or put an ad in the paper. I actually had to put an ad in the paper to find some woman who kind of fit the different body style, the body style I needed for an accident reconstruction years and years and years ago. This was kind of right at the beginning of my healthcare law career. I was doing products liability, and I needed to find someone who had the same body style as someone who passed away in an accident. So this was done quite intentionally with an intent to deceive.
All about the optics, you know.
Yeah, it's just it's Bush League, as I say. It's just Bush League.
Man, do you think it's odd about buying the vehicle and then not wanting to do all the testing because they have to resell it later? Like,
yeah.
So one, is it common for them to buy this, like the same vehicle? And two, is it common to, have to not do all the testing because, we had to resell it?
Yeah, the first question, it's not unusual when you have any type of vehicular or product-based accident reconstruction. That's not unusual to purchase an exemplar. I was happy to hear that Aperture purchased one, and then if they sell it, then they would only charge the Commonwealth the difference between what they paid and what they got for it. But the second part of your question is very concerning because if you purchase the vehicle and it's done for the purpose of conducting all of the necessary testing for you to draw whatever inferences you need to clinically from your experiment, then you need to do it, as you say, Bia. You got to do them. You can't say, well, I don't want to destroy the vehicle because I have to sell the vehicle. Then get someone to donate a vehicle or go to a scrap yard and get one. But this was done with an intent to misrepresent and fool a jury, and I don't buy it.
I just want to say, if anybody wants to call in and talk to the panel here and ask a question, you'll see the numbers at the bottom of the screen. Please keep it relatively brief. It is 719-602-4464. give us a call.
Oh, I
You
just
can
I
talk.
just wanted to say real quick that Ben in Trouble 31 channel, where he's been buying the taillights and taking them apart and showing the LEDs actually shine red even if there's no red lens on them.
Yeah.
And then he ordered this anatomically correct
Not possible.
silicone arm with the full skeleton in the arm, and he actually had the arm hit at 24 miles an hour, and the arm had a broken ulnar and radius and a compound fracture in the elbow. That was a more realistic experiment than anything Aperture did.
Oh, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And to that comment on the screen, I keep saying to myself, I need to see that Reasonable Doubt video. It keeps popping up, and I know I'm not dedicating the time to watch it. But
Yep,
the
just
fact
put that
that,
in there.
to Scott's point, the fact that there's a recreation or an experiment out there by anybody that would actually show trauma, like real trauma,
Right.
to the limbs.
Well, there are anatomical dummies that have all these components.
Yeah.
We use them in aircraft when you're testing an ejection seat. They use them in the automotive industry when you've heard that term, crash test dummies. We've talked about Forge and Fire, where they have the anatomical dummies that are filled with blood, so that when they slice through the person, the dummy, you'll see if that blade goes through and they bleed. So they have all these things. You could fit them with sensors and the whole 9 yards. It may have been done, for all we know, by ARCA. But if I think someone did try to call in.
Oh,
But I don't know how I would have missed that. Oh, let me turn up the ringer. That could be the issue.
well, while you're doing
Yes.
that, DJ, I just want
Yes,
to
ma'am.
remind your viewers, like, please consider donating
Yes.
to Mike's Defense Fund. I really, really think that with this type of generosity and crowdsourcing, it will help a long way. It will also ease the burdens of litigation and the stress. And I wouldn't make that type of statement if I didn't think this was completely defensible and a frivolous claim. So please consider dipping into your pockets for him. I very much appreciate that.
Yes, and I've been keeping tally since we started the show an hour ago. We were up to $694 raised for Mike.
Awesome.
Wow.
Please pass to Peppa, Boston Barry, Mike and Kelly,
great.
Anonymous, Boston Brandy, Heather Honey. It's just amazing to see all the. Wow. Thank you.
Yep. And I'm trying to get the phone. I reset the phone. I restarted it. So just in case we got to get a call here.
I want to know,
but-
are you using Bluetooth or are you wired in?
I am using Bluetooth. I did, as you instructed, I got the Roadcaster.
Yes.
But
I've stopped using it because it's like my phone calls are so funky with a new computer. I don't know why. It just never worked anymore.
let me.
But
It's so
did you ever try wiring the phone in?
I did, and it did not work for whatever reason.
That's what happened to me.
I called
Same
those.
thing.
Yeah, I called them and they didn't. Oh, here somebody's calling in now. Let me Bluetooth them in.
I'm glad to hear that it didn't work, so I'm not even going to bother trying to fix that. Get another wire.
Okay, I'll be off for a second.
I don't know why it doesn't work for people.
Talk amongst
Get a
yourselves.
Roadcaster. It's an option to be wired right to your phone.
So while we're talking amongst ourselves, guys, does anyone have any feeling about what they may see this week in terms of a defense, or is there anyone you're looking forward to seeing?
Well, I mean, the big debate has been whether or not they're going to call Proctor or Higgins. Should they call Proctor? Is Bev going to, declare Proctor a hostile witness? So we see that chess game going on between the defense and the prosecution. The defense was trying to get the 4 friends of Proctor texts in so they can expose all of Proctor's texts without having to call Proctor. But Bev might not allow those witnesses, so therefore the defense is going to have to call Proctor, but they don't want to call Proctor because Bev might not declare him hostile. And then biased Bev will let Brennan lead on cross. So we're all fascinated by the chess game going on there.
Call from Boring Delucci. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right, let's see if we got. Hello, Lauren, are you on the line? Hello? Uh-oh. Did that work? Let me see.
Call from Lauren Bellucci.
Okay. Uh-oh. It almost went. We almost did it that time. We're pretty close. So, Lauren, if you're listening, try one more time, and let's see if we can make it work. I think I didn't hit the number 1 on my keypad, but on the Google Voice keypad. So try one more time, and we'll try to get you on here with the panel. It was Lauren calling from an Atlanta number. So,
I love listening to Scott go through his his musing about, well, this is going on, and then Bev might do this, and what about that? Like, there's so much gamesmanship and unpredictability going on, and the fact that Scott can even keep tabs on all of it, because he's out there every day, and I've seen it. I've seen him there, like, with his truck, and he's streaming, which is not easy to do. I mean, there's the distractions of being in public, and he's there and he's listening. I'm like, oh my God, like, you're listening right here at your truck? He's like, yep. So I very much admire what he does and boots on the ground, because I can tell you from personal experience, when you're outside there, there's distractions, good ones and bad ones. It's very hard to stay on top of things. And then when he's not doing that, he's usually modding in chats all evening. So much respect to you, my friend.
Well, much respect to you, Nan. You were down there, boots on the ground.
Oh, it might happen again soon, Scott. You never know.
We even had to give you a coat. You were getting a little cold down there.
I very much appreciate that. I realized I didn't bring the right coat. So thank you. Chivalry is not dead.
From Boston Brandy.
Ooh,
To
Brandy.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
all right, I think we have Boston Brandy on the line. Let's see. Brandy, are you there?
I'm here. Are you there?
I have you loud and clear.
Here.
Okay, everybody hears you. I can see smiling faces. So Boston Brandy is here. So Brandy, thank you. You were more than welcome to join us on the stream, but we're happy to have you here on any medium. What did you want to say, my friend?
I just want to say hi to all you guys, and I missed Mike at the standout. I was bummed out, but I'm so happy that I got to see his face there and that he was live, and I know everybody appreciated that, so I was bummed that I missed it, but it was nice to see him.
Oh,
Thank you.
now,
Thank you
okay,
for doing
now,
it too.
now the other lady's calling in from Atlanta. Tried like 7 times. Let me see if I can get her in, Brandy. Okay, we can get you. You have the StreamYard link, all right?
Yeah, I can go back too.
All right, love. Bye-bye.
Bye, Brandy.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Brandy.
Bye.
I'm going to try to call.
DJ just dropped Brandy like a bad habit.
I know.
Well,
what's that
it's
about,
well,
DJ?
no, Brandy has the link to be on here.
All
I could have
right.
just
Yeah.
came on
All
StreamYard.
right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like she was invited to come on. So, yeah.
I'm just busting chops.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just
I would not. She has the
Lauren.
link to be.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
DJ, you did
Oh.
not come to be made sport of.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Lauren,
That's a Howie cut. I use that a lot. I did not
Lauren,
come
can
to
you
be-
hear us?
I can. Yes, this is much better.
Ah, you are on the air
Yeah.
with Mike Crawford, Gray Space,
Hey.
Scott, Bia, and of course, Nan Gallagher. Go ahead. What you have?
Yes. Hey, guys.
Hey.
So I'm Lauren, also common sense investigator, and Lauren Katie on Twitter. So
Oh, hey,
I just
Lauren.
wanted to call and say, hey, I just wanted to call and say, we got you, Mike. I appreciate everything you do. It was the times I've been on with you have been amazing. You're such a good guy, and you literally care about everything that you say. It's so genuine. So I just wanted to just encourage everybody to donate to your fund. I just shared it on my Twitter and all that. And yeah, so this is awesome. And I adore the whole panel. So you guys are doing amazing things. So keep it up.
Thank you, Lauren.
You
Lauren, thank you so much.
you
You
so
were a
much.
former
Yeah.
guest on Cab. Thank you. Go ahead, Mike.
Yes,
thank you.
that was very fun. Yes. All right. Well, I just wanted to call in and encourage everybody to donate because Mike's the man. So
He is.
keep up the good work, and I will talk to all you guys very soon.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Lauren.
Thank you,
Thank
Lauren. We'll
you.
definitely get you
Thank
back
you.
on. Thank you.
Yes, thank
All
you.
Thank you
right.
so much.
Welcome. We have two people to welcome in. The mod for the Young Jurks, who is amazing, and she's also happens to be a personal friend of mine. And of course, the one and only, the man who needs no introduction, nowhere around there. Party people, put him together for Sarah Shock and Horror and Mazza Media.
What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. This is the anti Mike Crawford fundraiser,
What?
right? We're telling
What?
people not to spend money. Don't help out.
You
That's
sent
right.
money to me. You already
No,
sent money, and I told you after. I was like, I wish you hadn't sent me money.
Madeira Beach
Yeah.
That's so funny.
caregiver. To accept,
No,
press
no.
1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
And we're up over almost at 9,200 at this
Hello,
point.
my friend.
So
Just hang
That's
on
Oh
awesome.
my
one second.
god. Oh my
Okay.
god.
that's
Thank you,
awesome.
Bazza.
No, you're welcome, Mike. Mike said to me,
Call
don't send me any
from
money after I'd sent it.
Madeira
But
Beach caregiver.
let's go
To
over here.
accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Oh, that
Yeah,
one
there we
didn't
go.
work for some reason.
That's
But
okay.
anyway, we just got Mazza on and Sarah, so we got to let these guys talk. If you would hold the calls for just a couple of minutes, we just want to get these guys' thoughts, and then you're more than welcome to call in. So, Sarah, hi.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi, Michael. I will keep this very brief because you guys are way more attractive to the listeners than I am to listen to. But I
No.
just want to say that I really love Mike. It's going to sound like I'm brown nosing and gushing, and I don't care. He is such a gentleman, and in the world of online, it's really rare to find people who just really are so genuine and loving and caring, and he never asks for anything. So, as soon as we knew that he was going to, it was like, okay, what can we do? How can we do it? How hard can we do it? Let's effing go. You know what I mean? So thank you, DJ, Bia, everybody who's on, for supporting Mike, for putting this together, for, sharing and asking people to donate. I just wanted to come on and gush about Mike for a couple of minutes. So DJ, thank you for giving me the platform to do that.
Aw.
Always. And we've had private conversations where basically she says the exact same thing to me about Mike on the phone that she's just said here.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Mike.
Well, he knows. I've told him to. My love language is making people very uncomfortable with compliments. So Mike knows.
You never make me uncomfortable. You never do. You never do. I love our group. I love our group. It's funny because sometimes our group, when I don't get back, the ladies are like, are we making Mike uncomfortable?
Aw.
Never. I
Yeah.
love our ladies. Like, you crack me up, actually, all of you.
You're pretty funny.
Yeah, we have a funny group.
But yeah, so thank you, everybody. I think we're close to $1,000, which is awesome. And really can't thank people enough. I know that there are a lot of people who want to donate but can't. And sharing it out is just as valuable as donating money, because the further it reaches, people learn about Mike, they learn about his show, they learn about the lawsuit. And so it just triggers a lot of really positive things. So no matter what the cause is, don't ever apologize for not being able to give money. There are things that go beyond that are just as important. So
Yeah, I believe in that message, Sarah. That's why I tell people keep showing up. It doesn't all boil down to the wallet, just showing support. And I know Mike long enough now to know that even if someone just said, hey, you can do this, you've got this, that would go a long way with him. It's about the psychic income as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Messages, all the support. It means everything. Like, even all the people watching, commenting, it means everything. It really does. So absolutely.
That's great.
All right.
Thank you,
Sarah,
Sarah.
thank you. You're very, very eloquent. You're a great speaker, and you're a great person. You're just the most honest, forthright person, and I really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm very happy to be your friend. So
Thank
you for
you.
coming on and contributing.
Thank you for having me. Have a wonderful
you,
night,
Sarah.
everybody.
Bye, Sarah.
And I'm sure I'll talk to some of you soon.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, Sarah.
Take care,
See
my
you in the
dear.
chat. I love Sarah.
I better be
MJ.
nice
love
to
her.
her.
You
But
better
Mike,
be.
I
You
better be
'cause those ladies have my back. Jen O, Sarah Shuck and her, MJ, Stephanie. We have the best mod team. We really do. We laugh so much. Some of the jokes. We have some private jokes that we can't tell you about.
That's okay.
oh man, I'd love to know those. But
It's
they,
like if you hit certain words in our chat, things happen on the screen.
interesting.
Things happen. Like it's just funny. I was like, what's going on here? I'm trying to have a conversation. Things are coming down on the screen, and I don't know.
I love it.
We've got about 15 minutes left. We have 15 minutes left. I'm in the company of a couple of great broadcasters here, and I didn't really get to hear too much of what Mazza had to say because I was fiddling with the phone. So, Mazza, please let it rip, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you. You can tell a lot about a person by the way they say the name, DJ. There's people that say Mazza, and there's people that say Mazza. I go with
Paisan.
Maz. If you want it more paisano, then you go Maz.
That's what's up, man.
So I should be saying Mazza.
I go Maz. I like the Mazda. That's what I go
Maz.
That's a cool nickname.
Emphasize
Yeah.
the Z's. Yeah, exactly. But Mike. So Mike said to me, yesterday, he kind of was like, "Man, I should have maybe told you not to donate anything because I've had you on my show so much, and it's me that owes you something." I said, "Mike, nobody owes me anything, and I just can't let you fight what you're fighting here without my contribution and me helping you. It's at the core of what I think." Friendship's about, and even, being colleagues, partnering on our shows. He's been on my show. I've been on his show about 1,000,000 times more. And Mike, Mazda Media has been a great thing in my life, but let's not forget Mike was the one that gave me so much opportunity to get my voice out there, my name out there, and, all that. So Mike owes me nothing. That's how I feel. And I'm absolutely willing to help him out and help him, when he needs to, stave off the people out there that want to come at him, and I'm not going to let Mike fight that alone. And I'm going to share the link and, make sure people can donate to his fund just the same way I've helped out Turtle Boy and had his back, and helped out Karen and had her back. And, in both those cases, Karen and Aiden didn't know who I was, before I started helping them, like everybody else was helping them. But, Mike has been, like I said, a very big builder. I've known Mike has in the past had other people he's done shows with that have kind of turned on him. And I've always told Mike, I want to let you know that I'm very gracious for opportunities you've given me. And, I definitely want to help you out. And Mike doesn't owe me anything. That's how I feel. And, if you ever need a good attorney, Mike, I know a guy at an office in Carnegie Hall in New York that might be able to help.
Nice. Let me guess who that might be.
She's a New York criminal.
Yeah, right.
Maybe if any murder charges.
Right, exactly.
Otherwise, I think I'm going a little less than that.
Exactly.
I got the right guy right now, Maz.
Right.
I got this
Better
guy
call
who used to
somebody
be a
other than
journalist.
that,
I got the one that they hired for Gretchen Voss, Boston Magazine.
Oh, great.
They could pick anyone in town they wanted, and they picked this guy, Rob, and that's who I got. He's amazing attorney, so hopefully it works out. I want to thank you, Mazza. It's funny too because I never really wanted to have different I don't know I used to have a crew on my show when I first started, and it did get weird. There was a lot of weirdness with people, and I just kind of wanted to do the solo thing until I found you. I was like, I like this guy, and my girlfriend heard you the first night, and she was like, I love his voice, but I like him.
Yeah.
And she is my girlfriend. She's another one that protects me. And so often in the past, I didn't listen to her. She wouldn't meet people, but she'd hear their voices and know who they were. And she would tell me, watch out for that one.
Yeah.
And she told me, that's your guy. You got a new friend. She knew right away. And she's right. It was and I went, I'm so glad. It was so glad that we invested in, our work and our shows together. It's been, you're a hard worker. You deserve it. You're talented. You're amazing. So thank you so much, Matt. And you're a great person.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mike. Likewise, I appreciate those words. I really do, Mike. It means a lot to me, man.
And then you added Mark, and then you became the 3Ms.
Yep.
Yes.
Love them.
Yeah.
That's right.
Spaces.
Imagine that, man. It's so funny too, the way it happened too.
Oh, it's nuts. It was just all, it all kind of just came together. It just worked. It was like a nucleus that just was perfect. You know, we just kind of all brought something different to one show, and it was something different than the other brought, and it just worked out perfectly. It was a big hit, that's for sure. It still is a big hit.
When we just did it one, like maybe a week ago, 3Ms, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I think it was about a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah, like today at that standout, everybody, like both standouts, everyone's like, "What are you doing on a 3M show?" My whole life is like, now when are you doing another 3M show? Everywhere I go, that's all they ask.
Yeah, you don't matter individually anymore, Mike. It's about the 3Ms.
Gotta have the 3Ms.
Exactly.
And
We're the Fantastic Four. Except
the
three
first,
people.
I was gonna say other than Sean, because Sean's a content creator, but he really came at this from the law enforcement side. That was kind of his thing. But the first two content creators to come on with me were Mike and Maza. So that's why I've appreciated it. And I'm surprised your girlfriend probably said stay away from DJ, like stay away. Like
I don't think she listened to that.
No,
I think she may have tuned out by that time in the process. It's funny because for a little run she was watching a lot of shows, but now she's moved on to other series. She doesn't really watch us anymore.
We'll get that to Mike. Thank you, Dennis. That was awesome of you,
Hey,
legend.
Dennis.
Yep.
How are you?
Thank you. I will get that to Mike.
Oh, thank you.
Mike, how did you like that ginger shot today?
Oh wow, that was.
I still think I'm feeling. I got a little headache. I think it's because I did too much today. But that was amazing. Like they gave you this ginger shot, and it looks like coconut juice or something. Like I didn't even sniff it. They're like, "Don't get it on your lips," and I'm like, "What do you mean? Is it gonna burn me?" And they like shake it up. So I'm shaking it up, and I just open it, and they're like, "We're like, Rocco had just driven by. Rocco was the guy who called them vodka shots at the Canton Select Board meeting. So we're like, cheers to Rocco, and then drank the whole thing, and then like 3 seconds later, I was like, oh my god, what? This is not good. I have no water, I have no milk, and they give me a mint.
Awful. I could see
I called that live in his chat when Mike was about to do that. I'm like, oh, watch this. It's not going to be good.
Oh God. I was like,
But it was
somebody
fine.
please give him a drink.
It was actually fine. Like once they gave me the mint, I was like, you know what? This is going to be a minute or two.
Well, now
I've
you're
had
gonna live
worse.
till at least 100.
It was fun. I'm glad I did it. It was, and it's healthy. So
yeah,
it was fun. And Brenda Sweeney was recording me, and I didn't realize it until the very end. I looked up. I was like, oh, she's recording me. She got me. She got us all actually. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. I put that video up. That was fun. I had fun today with them.
Oh
Good
God.
to see everyone. And
Not
Rita
too
came
traumatized.
out. Rita
You gotta
came.
come back, right?
Yeah, and then Rita came running out of work to give me a hug. That
Oh,
felt
I missed
amazing
her too. Oh.
Yeah. She just came out for like 2 minutes to say hi.
We got to get Grace Base down there. We got to get Grace Base down up there from Pennsylvania to come to one of these standouts. Come to Boston for the weekend.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about coming out before the trial ends. It's maybe like 8 hours from where I am, but my best friend lives near Albany, so I can go stay with her and then come over from there. So
nice.
Once you come and you meet these guys, you're just gonna want to, just like Nan. She came up. You're gonna want to come back because they're so warm. They're so welcoming.
Yes.
They make you feel like family. We just had the two ladies from Mississippi and Alabama, and then Lindsay from Texas, and then even Jan from Mississippi brought her mom. I think she brought her sister there as well. I can't remember. There was someone else with her, and they can't wait to come back. So that's how you're going to feel when you go and meet these guys.
Everyone is so welcoming. They really are. It's like a second family. I feel like it's second family to me. You should definitely go. It fuels the soul.
We got another dono. All right, same as sent to Mike. So we got another 40, and I will put that to the Give Send Go for Mike after the show.
Which right now we're at 9,767. So that's amazing.
There you
Thank
go.
you everyone who's donated.
Thank you. Yeah, we're getting close. That's going to put us close to a G. So awesome. We only have about 6 minutes left. Does anybody have a question that, oh, look at that. Thank you so
wanna say
much,
something.
Lisa Hawkins.
One
Love
of the
you
things
too.
that came out today, and I think is just a
Mhm.
reminder too, and especially you talked, with Gray Space about coming out.
Mhm.
They need more people to show up at court.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow, the rest of the week, if you can get out there, even if it's only an hour, and it's much more friendly now. There's a buffer zone for signs, a non-buffer zone, and then in front of the court, you just can't have signs, you can't have, but you can hang out. Like it's not as restrictive, it's not as stressful from what I'm hearing. But that was the message I heard a lot today in Canton, is that they want to see more people showing up at court like they used to. And weather's getting nicer, and I hope people show up.
Thank
And
you,
there's two
Maza.
sides. Like you can,
Appreciate
if you're wearing shirts that you're like concerned about, there's a lot of people who do still dress with Free Karen Reed stuff. So
Yes.
if you want to be right directly across the street from the courthouse, there's people down there, but that's if you don't have signs and you don't have anything that they don't like you wearing. But I mean, if
Well, they are allowing signs. You can have
Yeah.
Dina had the sign "Stop Corruption."
right, just nothing
Late
that will.
late Friday afternoon, I asked Sergeant Harmon if I could have my corrupted Canton PD and MSP need a reboot sign, and he approved it.
Oh wow!
So I
Nice.
was down there with that sign.
Oh, awesome.
I
Oh,
hope
it's
that
much
that's
cooler now.
enforced. I hope, Scott, that that's enforced consistently. Because if Hardman says, "Yep, you can have that sign," but then the next officer has a problem with it, that's my
Exactly.
concern about.
It's still an
Collective
issue.
enforcement.
Hardman said that if I show him more signs tomorrow morning and ask him, are these approved or not approved? He said that he has to contact legal. So there's a lot of gray area. It's kind of a mess. But I had that sign Friday afternoon. So
Bia, there's a spoofer in your that was not me.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Oh, that was not you right
Nope.
here? This right here is not you?
That is not me.
Oh.
there it is.
Oh, then we got to talk because I may have. Do you see a wrench? Do you see a wrench, Nan? That you have a wrench in this? Put something in the chat if you would, please.
Do you want me to ban the user?
Yeah, put something in the chat and we can.
So we can compare it.
Yeah. I'm sorry to. It's so absurd that people have that much time.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Standing Stones is saying Scott don't trust him. So, for what it's worth.
Well, I mean, he's the commander of the CAT team down there, who's in charge of the state police unit. That's our babysitters. If we have questions, we have to go to him. I mean, we got no other choice.
Okay, so you do have the wrench, so you're good to go
There's
on that.
a wrench and a different picture.
All right, so we got to ban the other person. Then
Can
go
I
ahead,
use-
Brandy,
Can I
do your
use
thing.
profanity for one moment on your
Yeah,
show?
please. Yeah.
Fuck you, troll, and all you stand for.
Oh, we can't. We can't. So if you're one of Mike's mods, you have to ban this person right here.
You can't tell.
Yeah.
There's several people who are doing it.
I am a mod on Mike's channel, but I'm not on that channel. On this.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Because Mike is connected, this is what happened when the troll came in as John. If you are one of Mike's mods, like Sarah, ban this person right here. Okay? Because I can't, because it's coming from Mike's stream.
Is it?
Mike's YouTube.
Okay.
Yes.
Mike. And by the way,
Sarah or any of Mike's mods.
All right, she's saying they blocked them.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Then it should be gone. It should be gone then, I hope.
Nan just needs a wrench on every channel so we know what a fake man is.
That's it. Yeah. I got him. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. I haven't met you, but thank you very much.
Now
Jeno got him.
It is creepy.
Imagine that though. They waste all that time to set up an account, and then Jeno just goes boom.
You're pieced out.
Yes, thank you.
This is
stupid.
the real Nan right there. Let me. This is her.
Thank you.
That's about time to close it up. Let's get some parting thoughts as I play our song from Eddie Vedder, which is called "Save It for Later."
Oh yes.
That Nan said. Oh, by the way, coming up, we're gonna have a call-in show. Nan and I need to get together for the dates. We're gonna have a Nan call-in show, so it's basically going to be an hour with you guys to call in and talk to Nan.
And
okay?
maybe I'll play this song on my guitar.
On the
You play.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Somebody give me an amen for Nan Gallagher on the lead guitar.
Oh my
Look,
God.
Nan can play guitar too?
Yes.
Yeah.
I play piano, guitar, and violin.
Oh.
But I did, as you closing out, DJ and Bia, I just want to tell everyone thank you so much for donating to my friend Mike. He means a lot to me in a very short time. And for all of you who were able to join this evening, it's been an honor to join with you.
Agree 100. Boston Bia.
I just want to say, Mike, we wish you all the best. It looks like we got almost to 9,767. Just want to wish you all the best with everything, and you got this, and we stand with you. Thank you.
Beatrice.
The legendary Scott McGinnis.
Yeah, and this is an awesome, fund drive for Mike. I mean, he's done a lot even prior to Karen Reed, and I think that's kind of maybe what this current suit is about. But Mike does great work, and anybody that can support him, this is awesome.
Miss Grayspace, final thoughts.
Well, it was great to get to talk to you all, and it's such a fun bunch. And even though I didn't, get to talk too much this time, I'm always happy if anybody has questions about physics and in this case, to provide answers as best as I can. I'm still really mad that Judd Welcher didn't do literally any math because he could have. And it's really simple to show that there's a certain amount of force it takes to break polycarbonate, and there's a certain amount of force it takes to break bone, and the amount it takes to break polycarbonate is more. So,
and that was a question that was asked. Thank you so much for answering that. We will have you back on for sure. We had the conversation with you prior to Mike coming on, but yeah, we'll definitely have you on again. And I'm honored that you would take your time to come and appear on the show. So thank you.
Yeah. And I'm, happy to support Mike. I do love his channel as well.
That is, of course, Young Jurks is like so dope. We are going to also be having a Turtle Boy coming up. We're going to have Jen Altman hosting a Turtle Boy fundraiser. We got that coming up, and we will certainly, if Mike doesn't reach his goal, we will do another one of these as well. Boston Brandy, final thoughts, my friend.
Just God bless you, Mike. Good luck in the fight. It's not easy. You're the only one standing there in the actual fight itself. Well, I know Turtle Boy knows what it's like in Karen, but we're all praying for you. We'll all be here for you. Thank you for being there for us. And everyone just keep doing what you're doing. Free Karen Reed. Stay safe, everyone.
And so final thoughts for the man of the hour, Mike Crawford. Sorry.
I'm just blown away. I thank everybody for all the donations. I'm checking them out as they come in, and just thank you so much for all the donations over the last week or two, and then tonight, and just the love and support. I really appreciate it. All the guests you had on tonight, I just thank you so much. And also, I just want to, you mentioned Turtle Boy. I hope people are kicking in, man, to Turtle Boy. I don't know if he still needs a lot of money, but I just send him support. Whether it's, if you can give him money, great. If you can't, just give him love, because he's dealing the brunt. I know as much as we focus on Karen's under a lot of stress. We all know that. But Turtle Boy, Aiden, man, he's got a lot of stress, and there's nothing. What I'm dealing with is nothing. It sucks, but so I plan on doing more fundraisers, hopefully, for Karen and Aiden coming up too as well. So I just hope everyone focuses on supporting them, because what they're going through is PTSD. It messes with your mind. You got to say, there's anxiety, there's stress, you don't know what's coming up. You know what I mean? You don't know what your next 5-10 years. Think of what that's like. You don't know where you're going to be in 5 years. This is the shit that, so I send prayers and love to them.
Yeah, and I couldn't have said it better myself. Turtle Boy is someone who could not turn off his computer and walk away from this. Anybody who's here on this panel right now, we could turn off our computer, walk away from Karen Reed, and just divorce ourselves from it if we wanted to. He cannot. He doesn't have that ability. He is all in. He is now part of it. and he is a target. Just like if this was a murder board and you had Karen up here, Turtle Boy would be like right there. There'd be a string running from one to the other of his photo on their wall, and he probably is. He probably is depicted as such.
Well,
so
they already jailed him.
Yep.
Exactly. This is the reason why I've done a couple of fundraisers. It's not that I'm not friends with him. I don't have communication with the guy other than a couple of DMs. But I'm doing it because I think what he's doing is right, and he's very courageous in doing what he does and has done. So with that, on behalf of Nan, Bia, Scott, Gray Space, Mike, Boston Brandy, this is DJ. We have more to say, but we're gonna save it for later. So peace, one love. We'll see you down the road.
Good night.